League game that's going to be done by Tayman ND. So if you have, I know people have strong feelings about their Pokemon. If you want to have input in that, please donate now. We're going to have a bid war. The most popular Pokemon is gonna win. But before that, we've got a really awesome game with Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Randomizer, now with 25% more Pazuzu, and it's going to be run between Hebinks and RPGchick. The commentators are going to be F. Coughlin and Woat, and it's going to be super fun. So please hang out and enjoy. And let me pass it over to Hebinks and RPGchick.
All right, I'm not sure if those two are going to be saying anything, but good afternoon, everyone. My name's Woat, and joining me is the legendary F. Coughlin.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Pretty solid, pretty solid. But yeah, we have a nice and chaotic bit of randomization. We are working with an overworld shuffle here for the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Randomizer. This is your first time seeing the Mystic Quest Randomizer. I hope you like speed, because this game goes blindingly fast considering how vanilla plays. But unless Hebinks or RPGC's got anything that they want to add before we lift off, I guess we can go ahead and get a countdown sorted out and get this show on the road.
This is going to be really exciting. I've only seen a couple of the overworld randomizers here before for this, but these are absolutely a blast to get to watch. It should be a ton of fun to see these two runners here. And they're going to be moving really fast here.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to be bouncing between telling you how this whole thing works and keeping up with what they're doing. But, all right. If you two are ready to go, we can go ahead and start counting down, I guess. So, count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get moving, y'all.
-1, -2, -3. Oh, sorry. I was supposed to stop counting there, aren't I?
Basically. All right. So, the main thing to know about Overworld Shuffle is we do not have the Focus Tower quick entry on. Basically, there's a shortcut you can enable in the flags and the randomizer that will allow you to jump straight to the end of the game whenever you have the Sky Coin. We already have the Sky Coin, so to keep it interesting, we have to still fulfill the standard requirements. So we need the Dragon Claw and the Mega Grenades in order to access the final dungeon. We need Captain's Hat to sail a ship, and we need the Thunder Rock in order to get to Spencer's Place to free the ship. We also need to track down which basement is going to give us access to Mac's ship. We've also moved the crests around, so we have to figure out what teleportation item we need and where to use it to access the boat that sails us to the final dungeon. That's the hard part of explaining it. So, Fred, why don't you tell these fine folks what sort of other things we're looking for in finding the final stuff?
All right, sure. So yeah, so once they get to the final dungeon, obviously they're going to need those items that they need to get through there. As we were mentioning there, we also kind of need some protection because the Dark King can sometimes be a little bit nasty. So you're probably gonna be looking for some good armor, Gaia armor preferably. You're gonna be looking for things like a helmet that reduces fire damage. The Cupid Locket would be phenomenal because that will prevent a heck of a lot of status effects from hitting you. So we'll be seeing stuff like that. Oh, there's a tower. That's lovely.
Oh,
just
yeah,
sitting in the middle.
Real convenient. They're not going to have to look very far to rescue Norma.
Yes, I was going to say, I believe that was one of the donations that was very generously unlocked here, was the fact that, during the regular game, you've got to rescue Norma, but in the randomizer, there's no reason for it officially, except for the fact that, you don't want to just leave a little girl trapped inside the tower there with all those monsters. And most runners are not monsters and save Norma, and that will be happening, I believe, here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah. Now, we're not going to go into Pazuzu's tower yet. First of all, we do.
Apparently, you're being
immediately makes a liar out of me. Yeah, we do have a flag enabled that makes some of the worst dungeons in the game a little more tolerable. In this case, Pazuzu's Tower is configured so that, as you may have noticed, there are no enemies on the stairwells if you're familiar with the vanilla game. There are several other factors at play, but yeah, we can't really do much in here without the Dragon Claw and an axe. So that is basically just a dip for the arrow spell.
Hey, I mean, to be fair, Arrow is probably the best black magic spell in the game. You know, most of the time there's not black magic is meh, okay. Oh, they got Windia too right at the opening?
And it looks like there's a coin on the merchant NPC.
Oh my gosh.
No, the thing
Did we
that
give them an
Rock-
easy mode seed or something?
Allegedly, this was the spicier of the two seeds they vetted. Allegedly.
I don't know if I buy this right now. I mean, you've got Windia here. So for those of you who don't know, we've normally to unlock, there's 2 levels for each character. You've got, the beginner version that you get of them as part of the story. They'd go away and then you would get another character, and then they usually come back a second time later on to help you, finish off all of your journey. Well, we have actually, no, we haven't seen Aquaria yet. Never mind. We have Libra Chest. We already have Phoebe 1. So we just need a way to get rid of Phoebe. And then we've already got access, thanks to being with Windia there, to having the best companion in the game. With a couple of people questioning the little bits of it, but...
Well, a minor addition. We do have to find Wintry Cave first.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot. We have to get her item in order to really do that. Fair enough.
Each companion has a quest associated with them, and by quest I mean a location in a dungeon where they talk to you and give you a thing. You have to go and do that event. Those are still in the randomizer, and that is the trigger that unlocks the second version of that character becoming available once they leave your party. So in the case of Phoebe, we have to find the Wintry Cave and go to the spot where she would give you the cat claw infidel. And it looks like Hebbings does have the sand coin now, and we're going to go find out what is available over in the Aquaria area.
Could be some good stuff here. The level forest just sitting in the middle of Aquaria? Surely this can't be... What? And they're getting
river coin.
I thought we were on the expert logic.
I mean, the Windia area could still be locked behind a crest, but...
That's true.
Yeah, so that is one thing. We are using expert logic, and what that means is standard logic for the randomizer says, okay, we're only going to require you to have these coins that open up the doors in Focus Tower, in terms of what is logically available. Expert mode says, you know what? Why don't we add in crests and the, back door into Aquaria by clearing Lava Dome? And, oh, you know what? Why don't we also throw in this trick where you can go to a temple through a warp and then use the exit spell to pop out in a different part of the map? Yeah, none of that here. Or all that is an option here, but with the coins coming through fast and furious, we might not need any of that.
Absolutely. And Runner's definitely keeping track there too. RPG just seeing the crest there in Windia there. I believe that was a Gemini crest. So the gist of that one is normally that's a Mobius crest and that crest actually normally takes you directly to the ship that we really want to get to.
It's the house in the upper right that does, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was the one she was in. My mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they went in, they saw that, and said, okay, we want to be able to do that, but we don't know which crest is even going to take you where. So we're trying to they're going to have to figure this out as they go here.
Well, there's that Wintry Cave we were talking about, so we just need to find literally anyone else to join the party, and we can have that Phoebe too, who is normally the end-of-game companion.
Yeah, the character you want to see, and that mine doesn't seem to have moved very far.
Yeah, convenient. I mean, who knows where Fireberg is, but...
Well, I mean, I guess they do say that a mine is a terrible thing to waste, so I guess that's why they want to leave it close.
But yeah, so, again, for folks who may not have seen this randomizer before, a lot of the power in this game is in the form of your companions. just because of how we tend to run the flags with relatively light enemy encounters, most of the game, the ability to clear enemies and dungeons is based largely on who is with your character, and your character is basically just there to, like, eat a couple of hits. That'll change over the course of the seed, but yeah, right now, both runners...
There's one thing right there with the Meteor spell, because that's one of the better wizard spells in the game. Just takes a while to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, well, level 5 I should at least have one wizard spell, so that's convenient.
Yeah, next time oh, now we're seeing some of the chaotic enemy AI shuffle there. We saw a Bone Dragon Boomerang thrown. No! Silver Web already?
I mean, at least it's here and not somewhere more involved. Like, I'd rather see that here in Wintry Cave than, say, I don't know, Pazuzu's Tower or Ice Pyramid.
That's fair. Wow, that's a location for exit. Wow.
Yeah. So, people who are familiar with the original game may be sitting here going, huh, I don't remember the battlefields being so multicolored. That is a feature of the randomizer when we have Battlefield Shuffle on. There are 3 colors associated with battlefields. Gray for battlefields that yield up an XP bonus, green for battlefields that give money, and blue for battlefields that give items, which is why both runners are prioritizing blue battlefields when they can.
Yeah, you see a couple, usually you'll see a green battlefield or 2 go down just so that way they can buy the items from the vendors and buy seeds eventually once they do find everyone's favorite place of Fireberg. And otherwise, you're probably not going to hit too many of those too much. The gray ones you might hit just to get yourself a little bit of an experience boost. But otherwise, yeah, those battlefields tend to be pretty fun places to go. And you don't have to do the 10 fights, thankfully. Thankfully, there's a nice flag that randomizes number of fights you have to do from 1 to 5 instead of the 10 you had to do for every single battlefield out there in the original game.
Yeah, and a couple of questions from chat. Yes, Hebbings is using MSU1. It is a patch that enables you to put higher quality audio into the game. There is an MSU1 patch for the randomized that I believe is standard when you patch the randomized seed. To answer the other question, the glitches are fixed in this randomizer, so you will not be seeing Dark King eat a cure tonight. They are going to have to fight Dark King legitimately.
And that fight can be terrifying. I don't know if you saw, though, I know we've got RPG, they're running through all of Wintry Cave here trying to find outside the pyramid, trying to find things, but one of the battlefields up there had a tree wither in it, so we now have a level 3 Kaylee as part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know where the forest is somewhere. That
it should be the first area of Aquaria.
You're right. So yeah, so now we have the way to dump Phoebe 1, and we've already seen the pyramid. So not the pyramid, the other one there, Wintry Cave. So we now have like access to Phoebe 2 coming along very shortly here.
Just to follow up on that question, no, the cure strats for Dark King are in fact a glitch, and I believe that was one of the first things Wildham fixed when he developed this randomizer. So, no, we are going to have to actually just fight Dark King without cheesing him.
But it's so much more fun to cheese.
I disagree. As a spectator, it is way more fun to see what kind of horrible things the Dark King can pull out. Although
true as a spectator.
Yeah, and with skill randomization, Dark King can wind up being kind of rude. Like, Dark King's normal abilities, kind of rude. And oh hey, look at that, we now have access to all 4 areas inside of 11 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. Wow. What is going on here? What is going on with the seed? I thought this was supposed to be the spicy one.
I mean, I think that says something about how deeply buried our go mode items are.
Possibly. We'll have to see there, but we do have... Oh, there we go. Incoming Shrug coming in from the Rydia.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, every time we see the old man on a cloud, the runners are obligated to talk to him as, befitting the generous donations y'all put out to make that happen. The only question is how many of the old men we are going to see.
Just point out, speaking of donations, we had a donation from Grey Goo Girl, who not only ran a super awesome Super Metroid game earlier, but also donated now and says that they're donating $40 for all the wrong turns during one heck of a messed up Metroid seed. And they put that money to Squirtle. So Squirtle is in the lead right now for the next game, Pokemon Puzzle League. If you prefer Pikachu or Bulbasaur, you got to get your money in quickly. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Newster. So yeah, right now we have both runners kind of just trying to figure out where they can get a foothold. Like I said before, we are going to see a lot of prioritization of the battlefield. They're relatively quick to check. They're guaranteed to get a key item of some variety, whether it's equipment, as you can see on Hebbing's screen a moment ago, or magic, or, progression. So, and I believe that has to be fired, well, have we seen Aquaria already?
I don't believe we've seen Aquaria. Those the green hat ones. I think the green hat friends are typically in an Aquaria's region in vanilla. Is that still that way?
I am not entirely sure, but I'm talking about that town right there.
Oh, town, yeah. That's Aquaria.
Yeah, that's Aquaria. All right, so yeah. So the only reason we're going to see either runner pick up any other companion, once RPGchick has acquired the Tree Wither and swapped out Phoebe as well, is we are still theoretically going to need to say, go pick up Tristram 1 and take him into Bone Dungeon and do his item check, because that is considered a priority check, so it is, I believe, a guaranteed key item. Okay, there's Fire.
Hiding in the middle of nowhere there. I was going to say, it's fun seeing the difference here in strategy. You have having scouring the world, finding out where everything is, whereas you have RPG already having dove the pyramid. Now they're diving the lava dome there to try to be able to see if there are any good items hiding somewhere in one of the recesses of these dungeons. So all the items, I think, are all shuffled, among the treasure chests. NPCs are prioritized. The battlefields are prioritized, so they will always have, appropriate items. But when it comes to these treasure chests that are loose, they can be pretty much any treasure chest in the game. So these runners have really insane knowledge to know exactly how to, where every single chest in this game is, to be able to hunt down all of these different possible locations for these red chests that have the key items in them.
And I guess there's one thing I don't know if we actually pointed this out for folks who aren't as familiar with the randomizer. So you're going to see that there are brown boxes and red boxes. The brown boxes contain consumables and will refresh anytime you enter and exit a map. So it is one of those things, if these runners, say, find a seed box that is readily accessible, you may see them enter and exit a couple of times just to sort of quickly accumulate a few extra items for healing purposes. The red boxes are the ones that have our key items, like Fred was saying. So
this lovely, friendly, little red chest here, blocked behind a bunch of beholders who are probably one of the most annoying regular enemies in the game. Yeah. They reflect 100% damage. I think it's 100% of all the magic damage you would do to them back at you.
Thankfully, they're weak to bombs, which do fixed damage, and are unfortunately on a slow character who can't take a punch.
Wait,
yeah, they are fortunately...
There are people who like bombs? I'm friends of these. I'm friends of this now. I like these enemies. We can bomb them. I like them a lot no more now. I think this is a better plan for us to take them out right away. I approve of this plan.
No, beholders are beholders are literally just there to justify bombs at a point in the game when you have at least meteor and are working on getting white and flare. All the eyeball enemies share that bomb vulnerability.
I'll just go ahead and mention that we've had a couple of donations come in. $10 from Keishura, and they were saying, best of luck to both of the runners. We're both counting on you. Awesome. We also had the Hangry Canuck say, "Good to hear Woad again. Go Team Scrub, and good luck to all runners." And the Hangry Canuck donated $35 and put it towards Pikachu for the Pokemon Puzzle League. Kishura, meanwhile, is going with trying to get the incentive to fight God Zerker during the Monster Sanctuary run that's going to be coming up later today. Yep, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Ah, hey, there's the magic mirror that I'm sure RPGchick really would have wanted to have earlier. So, that is one thing about these...
Is that because it would have told them who the fairest one of all is?
Well, yes, that, but also it would have shown where the enemies were in the Ice Pyramid. We didn't specifically call that out, but without the magic mirror, enemies are invisible in the Ice Pyramid. The logic they are using, I believe, does allow for you to have to do the pyramid without the mirror, but it's always nice to not have to play guess which cells are empty.
Oh, absolutely. It's so much, and it's tough because you say, okay, I'm just going to run from that and walk around it. And then you're walking back out of the dungeon and you say, oh, shoot, I run back into it again because you forget that it was there. It's probably one of the more annoying features. Or not features, but one of the more annoying things that you do.
Yeah, the readily accessible exit is nice at least, although I don't think RPG's been into Wintry Cave yet.
I don't think so,
Yeah.
But Heaven's just getting white for magic, so now has almost the full complement of wizard spells there.
Mm-hmm. And, white on Benjamin's enough to finish out the game. Well, you want to find life as well, but that'll do for the time being.
This is going to be a fun potential fight here, so RPG is about to go fight the infamous Dragon of Doom here to try to unlock all the volcano madness here.
Yeah.
I'm saving, it looks like, just in case.
Never a bad call.
Absolutely
because you never know when one of these bosses is going to have either something from one of the in-game bosses or Dark King, so very wise to go ahead, save up. But yeah, so what this will unlock is, just like in vanilla, once you finish out Lava Dome, it will basically create a path to the back end of Aquarium. I believe there are one or two checks that are only accessible when you've cleared Lava Dome. And I don't believe you can even peek them until you've actually cleared Lava Dome. So generally you want to go ahead and just clear this out.
Yeah, definitely a good play here to be able to come in and do this. You'd love to have some resistance to fire, as we're seeing.
Oof.
That's the one downside, unfortunately, to that dragon. That dragon does vanilla love to just breathe fire, which can do a lot of damage if you aren't resistant to it. So it looks like RPG is choosing discretion to be the better part of valor here. I mean, we know it's probably not going to be as needed, because I think that I think they went up to the sort of vanilla spot. I think you can at least see the main checks from the vanilla spot. So I think, and I don't think there was anything major back there. And we already know we don't need the connection because we've seen the appropriate coins to get through.
Yeah,
would have been a nice experience boost, but
I think you may be able to access. Well, I don't know.
I'm not sure. As I said, I'm not 100% sure, but I think we might have seen it, like if you're actually standing on the volcano, Lava Dome vanilla spot. I think you can see the one up there. So
I'm more thinking. I think there's a little there's that back area of Aquaria that normally you can only access once it's thawed.
Oh yeah, I was to say.
Some of those locations, if you take the back door through Fireberg.
Oh yeah.
So that could potentially be a factor. If, say, our wake water is in that back area of Focus Tower, something like that. That is a change from vanilla for folks who are familiar. Wake water will actually thaw out Aquaria once used. You just have to find it.
Yep. That's a nice change there too. Just that way it gives that wake water that extra little benefit. It's always good to have those more key items available, so that way you can start saying, oh, I want to try doing this, or I want, that it adds more variety, more different things that you can do with having lots of tools to unlock the seed.
Oh yeah.
It's the fun part of randomizers in general, is always getting those unlocks. Got some tracking here. We're about to go. We're not going to fight our friendly neighborhood ice golem because there's nothing behind it.
Yeah. And since Wake Water is what controls the thawing here, there's no point in fighting the ice golem. It's not guarding anything.
It's so much more fun, though. I mean, if you've got flare, which to be fair, they don't have flare, but if you've got flare, just melting an ice golem just feels so good.
I will grant you that, but you know, we are trying to save some time here.
We don't need to save time. We can make this work.
Look, all I'm saying is Wildham said that this seed is spicy, and I'm expecting the spice any moment now.
But what if the spice was just like a mild spice, like paprika?
I am trusting that Wildham would have still just dumped the whole bottle onto it if he's going to call it spicy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And knowing Wildham, I think I agree with that.
Yeah. Wildham, again, is the developer of this randomizer. He is also very good at it. So it is one of those things where his judgment of what is spicy is something I take under consideration.
Oh, absolutely. Whereas you have, and let's see, so we've got Hebbings wandering through the lovely dome there. We have our friend RPG trying to take out a little crab. Feeling a little cranky. Some might say a little crabby, especially with that.
The joys of so much confusion.
Please stop hitting yourself. Thank you.
I mean, does it count as hitting yourself if you miss?
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. And it's so weird seeing people walk around the Fireberg area without the ground shaking, I have to say.
Yeah, now, I will point out that with the World Shuffle, or the Overworld Shuffle, any spot that is native to the Fireberg zone will cause a shake when you step onto it. So you will see random battlefields as the runners step on them, cause the screen to shake because they are battlefields that came from Fireberg. Interesting,
that's how that works. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's actually really neat. It is another incentive to go ahead and clear Lava Dome just so you're not just getting random shakes literally everywhere in the world. Although I guess considering the plot of the game, maybe it makes more thematic sense that just anywhere you go there are random earthquakes because the world is falling apart because of the crystals, yada yada.
In theory, that should be mostly the Earth section, right? With all the shaking. Quakes usually falls under the Earth umbrella here.
So, just as an aside, this is something that just clicked in my head. So, we found the captain's cap.
Correct.
I think that's in the Mega Grenades. I think that's all we have as far as Go mode goes. We're still missing the Thunder Rock and. Okay, actually, it is all we need still. So we just need the Thunder Rock for Go mode.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, RPG did find Flare. That's the one spell that we ideally want to see our runners have, because it's the strongest spell for Benjamin against Dark King. But anything else, White works, don't get me wrong. White absolutely works. If Hebbings was to find our friendly neighborhood Thunder Rock here and just decide, okay, I'm going for the Dark King, White will carry the fight. It's just, you get so much more damage out of that flare there. So, but yeah, you're right. Pretty much that's the one tricky spit here. Oh,
there's that flare. All right.
Yeah. Never mind.
I believe we do have a moment for a donation, Reed Newster, if you got something for us.
Great. Yeah, thank you very much. We just had a donation from Twill. Twill is coming on and saying that they are donating in honor of Wote's melodious voice. So thank you very much, Wote, for your melodious voice. Big round of applause, everybody in the audience, please. And they're donating towards the target for Monster Stakes, right, to get the runner to fight God Zerker. And with that, we're over halfway there. There's a $200 incentive for that, and we're at $108. Once again, we're raising money for Take This, which is a wonderful mental health-oriented nonprofit that seeks to increase awareness and provide support and resources for people struggling with mental health in the gaming industry, and both for game players and for game makers. Great, thank you very much.
All right, so some of you are going to need to start shouting out Fred in these comments. He's going to start feeling lonely.
That's all good. I mean, they're calling out clearly the extremely knowledgeable and entertaining member of this duo commentary team. So I can't blame them at all for it. I'd be doing it too.
I would beg to differ on which of us that is, but anyway, we did have a question in chat just to reiterate what Go mode is. So Go mode in this particular flag set entails gaining access to the last section of Focus Tower. That means we need to get to the Windia area, which we can do. We need to build the Rainbow Bridge via Dr. Otto, which requires the Thunder Rock and access to the town of Windia. We have access to the town of Windia, we do not have the Thunder Rock yet. Once we cross the bridge, we need the Mega Grenades to blow a hole in the cliff face to free Max's ship. We have the Mega Grenades, that's taken care of. We then need to find the right crest to teleport us to the ship. Fight our way through the ship to Captain Mac, show him the hat, he gives us control of the ship, we then take the ship around, and that brings us to the end of the game. We already have everything else and
we need Thunder, Dragon Claw. Yep,
yeah, we
just
need the
realized
Dragon
that.
Claw. Yeah. In order to get into the fight with Dark King. We do not need to fight any of the normal in-game bosses. The flag we have on for today is once we are through the Sky Coin door, we are at we just have a single staircase to climb, and we are at the end of the game. So.
And for those of you who do miss that, if you are choosing to play the lovely Mystic Quest Randomizer, those can still be done. There are 3 different options, actually. There's the option to do the full Dark Tower like you normally would. There is the option to apparently slide into the back door of Windia by going through the forest there. There is an option that shortens the tower to just a boss gauntlet of just the 4 bosses in a row, bam, 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 or the one that the runners are playing with today, where there's absolutely straight shot directly to the Dark King.
So it is the randomizer offers a great deal of complexity in terms of what sort of game you want to play, and I cannot emphasize. Oh, hey, there's that lake water, so that'll give us several new locations to visit.
Yeah, there's at least one blue chest, blue battlefield in that area too, so that'll definitely be a nice extra location to go to. Yeah.
Having sticking his nose into the great tree. We don't have the Dragon Claw, so this is just a quick little visit. But no, what I was going to say is, if you've only ever played the vanilla game and haven't tried this randomizer, first of all, it's ffmqr.net, right? I'm not completely memory holing the correct URL.
I believe you are correct on the ffmqrando.net works. Okay, I'm not sure. You might be able to do ffmqr, but I'll check.
Yeah, no, it's ffmqrando.net.
There you go.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, ffmqrando.net. And I cannot emphasize enough how much this randomizer completely changes, how you perceive this game. It really does take it from, it's that really linear kind of entertaining music RPG that's not really that much to write home about, aside from kind of being a really fun routing challenge, to, oh, okay, this game is hilariously complex, and hey, there's Dragon Claw.
Oh, nice. And that was hidden behind the forest, having to go through to hit to hit one of those 3 tiles to teleport to a completely different location than you normally would to get the wake water in the first place. That's a little evil. Okay, I can see a little bit of spice picking up.
Yeah. Hebbings, don't forget to talk to the old man on the way out. He can't hear me, but...
What? Hebbings, go back.
Maybe that one isn't a shrug check. Hebbings is the shrug percent expert.
Yeah, as I say, I think as we talk about that, I don't remember that that one may actually not have a shrug built into it, if I'm remembering. There is at least one of them where it just flies away and you don't get a shrug.
Yeah. In any event. But yeah, no. The randomizer. It is good.
Yeah, and again, if this looks overwhelming to you with all this overworld shuffling stuff, there's a number of different flags built into the randomizer that you can and can't do. So if you say, you know what, I don't want this overworld shuffle, you don't have to turn that on. I mean, the recent Speed Gaming Live flag set didn't have any overworld shuffle on. If you're like, I don't want to remember where all those brown chests are to try to hunt them down, you can actually shuffle it so that way just the red chests stay where they would be. So the key items that you normally would find in the game are still where they would be, just shuffled up. So it's absolutely a bunch of fun. You can take it at whatever pace you want to do, and it's, as I said, it's a really awesome game to play there.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was convenient timing there.
Yeah,
Having found
really
the Venus key right before going into the focus tower to check the chest that can only be opened by the Venus key.
Downside, he now has to go all the way back to Spencer.
Yeah, minor details.
Yeah. So there is a couple of adjustments that were made to item placement. Specifically, there is a chest now located next to Spencer that that can only be opened with the Venus key, and that replaces the Tristram giving you the Dragon Claw. I guess check isn't the right word, but event in the vanilla game. Since you no longer have the whole characters, kind of entering and leaving the party, sort of with story flags, because we took out all of those.
Yeah, so you got that one. Yeah, and as I say, now we've got RPG clearing out Fireberg here as Hebbings goes back down to visit our friend down here, who is going to give us in the chest explosives.
Yeah, and again, for folks who are unfamiliar with this randomizer, that is not going to override our movie grenades, even though it technically is at the moment. Yeah, as soon as you swap off and back on, the game re-equips the highest tier weapon that goes in that slot. So,
of course, we always want to see the highest class explosive that we can use to properly explode all of our enemies.
Fred, I think you have a problem.
There's no problem here. I mean, just the fact that, the league team I'm in for Link to the Past is called the Bomb Squad. We quite enjoy all the fun that we can do.
Listen, I'm just saying, we're here and we care about you, and we would prefer you keep all of your fingers.
Fair enough. If you know how to properly handle them, though, you're in great shape.
Yeah. So, at this point, okay, I see that Hebbings is heading into the mine. Surprised he didn't go ahead and pick up Ruben just to double up on his checks here. So, the Mega Grenades do open up what we lovingly call the Ruben's Father check. So called because it is where you rescue Ruben's father, and then he'll give you an item when you go back to Fireberg. There is also an item check immediately before that where Ruben in the vanilla game gives you the Mega Grenades. If Ruben is in your party. So, maybe I missed earlier having grabbing Ruben and doing this, but I don't think I did.
No, considering that he's checking all these chests here, I would think that if you were going to, especially with the exit spell, if he was going to come in and have done this before, he would have already checked all this, because I think that, well, I guess you don't have to have bombs at this point, but...
Yeah, but we started with bombs, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, so yeah, we had stuff for, the Apollo helmet, that's the top helmet that you can get, so... Great find. I know they both at least have the fire resistance already, but now Hebbings coming back in, going to go fight the Djinn, and we're not doing any of the glitches. Those of you who know the game with Mega Grenades can do the weird glitching on the maps with the lifts here. Not doing any of that. We are just going to be having to fight everyone's favorite Djinn and his favorite drink, the tonic.
Yeah.
Yes, I went there. I'm sorry.
I was just going to let that one slide. I was going to let you have that. But yeah, so...
Hi, Jin.
real
Bye,
short
Jin.
mode. Yeah.
So this Thunder Rock can be pretty much anywhere, can't it?
Yeah,
Except for
basically.
inside Spencer's cave, pretty much, or on the ship, I guess.
Yeah, Mobius Crest chest, and that's it. Everywhere else is, yeah, in the ship. Those are both fair game. I was gonna say
Could even be in the tree. Wouldn't that be a fun one?
That would be spicy. No one likes the giant tree. For the folks keeping track at home, nobody likes the giant tree.
Yeah, they just want to leave it alone.
I mean, it's just such a pain to embark into.
Yeah, eventually we'll branch out off these jokes, don't worry, and we'll find something else to do.
Yeah, but I mean, the audience is rooting for them to have to go there.
Yeah, well played. I don't know. I think they might be a little sappy about this.
Well, I mean, I just hope we go there. I'd hate to leave them pining for it in the end.
All right, I'll concede this one. You have taken home all the tree puns. Well played. That was awesome.
I have a limited set of skills, but that's
Whoa.
Thunder Rock. All right, we ended that
Wow.
the time.
Wow, I think that is true go at this point, aside from maybe levels to be able to take the Dark King down here, isn't it?
Even then, level 14, like, considering that that the Dark King's stats are going to be between 25% and vanilla, you might, like, and considering how quick it is to check, I could see Hebbing considering a save split.
Yeah.
Also, I guess we have to actually find.
Oh
access
yeah,
to the
that
dock.
little detail. That's right. Yeah, those again. We mentioned it earlier, but all these lovely tiles in the world are shuffled. So there's a tile somewhere that will take you
Okay, well
to
there
the
it
ship.
is.
Yeah, right there.
Okay,
It's
so
literally the opening temple that you end up going to. We left it right close to home.
yeah, so as I was saying, I could see Hebbings considering doing like a save split, like save right at the entrance of Doom Castle, run up, see if like he can just bully his way through with Phoebe 2 and a mostly good enough Benjamin.
He looks like he's going to take a few levels here, which is not a bad decision here. This should be a pretty quick fight to take down. And he might even, depending on how the leveling, depending on how the experience goes, it's very possible that he'll even be able to take this and get, there is a glitch, I guess, if you finish a battlefield, an experience battlefield off, and on the final fight you get enough experience to level up from the fight itself. Then when the game gives you the extra experience after the battle, you get a second level up for free, basically. You still have to get enough experience to get to future levels, but if you're going to the Dark King, that extra jump can potentially, you can get 2 levels at once, and that might be enough to put you into safety land. I mean, Hebbings at least was going to want level 16 just to have 4 casts of Flare or any of the wizard spells at a pop. Typically, the wizard spells tend to be take your level, divide by 4, and that's how many your maximum casts of it.
Yeah. So RPGchick does at least now have their Phoebe 2. And yeah,
They just turned in the elixir too, so
yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have a tracker, so it's a little bit harder to kind of keep up with everything RPG's doing because just this game moves really fast. But I was gonna say one thing Hebbings has in his favor, as far as going with kind of a lower level Benjamin than normal, is the fact that he does have, I believe, all of the end game armor and accessories. So, like, he should be about as well defended as he's going to get. So this should be doable.
yeah,
but like I said,
very true.
I wouldn't be surprised if he drops a save like at the entrance of Doom Castle in case Dark King turns out to be particularly tough today.
Well, he does have exit, so as long as he saves at any point before he gets to the Dark King, he'll be okay because he can just exit out there. But like right now, we've got our friend. Yeah, here we go. We're making the. Looks like we're checking around, maybe getting a few more seeds. It looks like just to be safe. And then gonna head off to the Dark Castle, the Doom Castle.
Yeah.
As I say, there were a couple of really nasty. That's fair enough. That Captain's Hat was pretty nasty, pretty tough to find. Not Captain's Hat, the Thunder Rock there. Okay, that was that was a good one. That was a good spicy one there. Who wants to go back in and fight and go down there to the crab? Not the crab. The which one is that again in the Wintry Cave? I forget. It's not the crab. The crab's in the squid. Yeah, squid. No one wants to fight Squidward after. After going into the cave and getting their exit spell and everything else in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, also just the fact that bosses do not count as NPC or battlefield locations. So in these flags, bosses can just reveal a brown box.
Yeah.
We saw that earlier with the crab at Falls Basin. But we are actually going to be coming up here in a moment on Dark King, and as is tradition, we're going to let everyone sit back and enjoy the final battle music's tune for just the first phase.
Enjoy.
So, I know this gets said every time Mystic Quest is played in any way, shape, or form, but the music in this game did not have to go as hard as it did.
Oh yeah, no, the music on this game is absolutely one of the best reasons to play this game. It's just incredible. Ooh. And Dark King triggering his own phase 3.
Yeah, so I was about to. So that is one thing. You can't trigger the whole underflow problem with the Dark King. Dark King still can if he rolls a drain effect. And it is really funny every time it happens.
It looks like the Dark King has decided he wants to do a impression of an ice golem here. Keeps casting the little ice on everyone.
Yeah, he found something else to do for once.
Yeah, minor details. I was really hoping we would get to see our friendly neighborhood multiplying king here, but I guess that's not going to happen. It doesn't look like that's going to happen on tonight's scene. Actually, Dark King's actually very slow. Both Phoebe and Benjamin there are getting their turns in before Dark King.
So when the Dark King glows red, that will be time. It is one of those things. The chaos randomization can make things more interesting.
There
but
it is.
It does inhibit Dark King's ability to just completely mess you up.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because he loses all those nasty fixed abilities. But yeah, get those GGs out for Hebbings.
Congratulations to Hebbings taking the seed. That was about 46 minutes for the seed. That's really strong time for a seed like this. Well done.
Yeah, RPG finally picking up that Wake Water, and we know that is going to put them on the right track toward getting the clear as well.
Oh, thank gosh. Doing the check on the front 4, which is always a good thing to do, don't get me wrong, when you're in there, but if you've got... Often there's... no one likes to climb the tree because it takes a long time after those front 4 to really start finding any other chests. Annoyingly, there's a lot of chests up near the top, but none of them are incentivized, so pretty much you're just going to walk in and hope that you get lucky on those,
yeah.
But thankfully...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think fortunately RPG doesn't have the Dragon Claw, so, you know.
Minor detail. Yeah, I think that blocks the Dragon Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. You're right.
Yeah, that's the lovely thing about that check when you don't have the Dragon Claw, is there's no temptation, because you can't.
Yeah, exactly. Now the question is, where was our friend here? Oh, coming back into Wintry Cave. Ooh.
Yeah, so Thunder Rock Thunder Rock's back here, and...
Yep, as long as you're already in the area anyway, and you got the bombs, come in and knock the rest of this out. And hope that hope you can get some good stuff here. So RPG coming through here. Going to fight our friends with the silver webs again, but this time hopefully we won't even see any silver webs because of the fun magic of the game.
Oh, absolutely. Alright, question in chat. If this looks entertaining to you, ffmqrando.net will get you set up with the randomizer. There's also a link to the community Discord, so you can ask all of those fun tech questions that you'll inevitably have. And also, you know, find out the latest on what weird things we have coming down the pipeline in beta. I know that Hebbinks mentioned brewing that several fun ideas. Oh no! RPG, no!
Don't do it, don't do it, no! Oh.
No, you needed to kill the squid! Also, thank you, Silverfire, for dropping the link down there. Oh, that hurts. That hurts a lot.
Those
mean,
types of things can just bite you on this game. Like, you skip that one check.
I mean, to be clear to everyone, that was not a bad move. Like,
no, not at all.
We know, because we have, you know, the cosmic universal vision, that RPG needed to do that check. But there's so many chests left that could have the Thunder Rock that there is no reason to assume, well, I should just go ahead and kill the squid now.
Yeah, and like what we were saying earlier too, on top of all that, you know, the squid, the Djinn, and our other friend, the crab there, you know, those are like mini bosses, but they don't technically block a guarantee. You know, I guess maybe the Djinn a little bit because of the fact that it blocks some of the edge checks. But yeah, oh, Medusa, you're right. Medusa's the other one. I knew I was forgetting one. I knew there were 4, but they block regular treasure chests, the brown ones, that could potentially get a red chest shuffled to there, but you don't know. And in this case, it just happened to be that one. It's that one killer case of literally that one chest you didn't check being happened to be correct one on this seed.
Oh no, we're going into Pazuzu. Well, for everyone who likes jerk birds, we are going to get some roast chicken today.
Well, I was gonna say, they might not actually kill Pazuzu in this case. It depends on when they get to the top, they'll be able to peek the one chest that's locked behind actually killing Pazuzu. As long as that one's not red, I'm trying not to jinx it, then there's no incentive to actually kill Pazuzu.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if you
on this flag.
Pazuzu's chest. Because I know you...
I swear I've seen it.
I know you can't peek... I can never remember if it's Wyvern or Hydra who's in Lava Dome.
Yeah, you can't. You can.
Yeah, you can't.
Well, you can kind of peek it. You just have to initiate the battle. But if you save quit, you can avoid it. But yeah, if you're not doing that, you can just make the jump. But I think when we get up here to 7, like if you go, you have to go a little bit out of your way maybe. But I think you can actually peek this one. Like if you were to go up to the top half there, like if you go to the top staircase, I think you can see the chest. Yep, there we go.
Okay, so yeah, no Pazuzu today. So that's a silver lining, but yeah. I mean,
which actually makes this tower much faster to run through because
you don't have to care about the elevator.
Yeah, you don't have to hit any of the switches. Again, for those who haven't seen Mystic Quest, if you're playing this game, you know, normally you get to this point, if you're speed running the run, you get to here about an hour, 20 minutes or so into the game, and you go through this tower, and Pazuzu, when you talk to him in the first place, can land on any of the different floors. You just saw him there, apparently landed on floor 5 on this seed. But there's a number of switches on the even floors, and if you talk to Pazuzu without talking to any switches, he'll just infinitely take the elevator to the next floor, and you pretty much chase him all around the entire dungeon. Whereas what you're supposed to do is hit the switches, which are on the even number of floors, and those will lock the elevator so you can eventually lock Pazuzu in place, so that way you can then, trap the bird, fight the bird, who will then still be a gigantic jerk to you and kill you repeatedly. And for those wondering, because, not many of you may have seen the vanilla speedrun, the swing between the best floor and the worst floor is over 10 minutes in terms of the amount of time it takes.
Yeah, so RPGchick is a runner, has run the game vanilla in the past. And actually, before we started this race, I was just double checking my knowledge on that front, and Hebix was mentioning he actually only runs the random, has never run the vanilla game, and was saying I should probably do something. And RPGchick was immediately like, just don't. I have to assume a lot of that was Pazuzu Tower.
It's not, honestly, it's not just, I mean, that's definitely a major factor, is that whole, going that far in, but, it is a pain, there's so many different things that could just, wham, kill you, even when you're at near full health and, like, totally in great shape. In this one, it's like, you're fighting against Dullahan there, who no one ever wants to think about in the randomizer, because, again, another mini-boss that guards one chest that I forgot too. I forgot when I was listing all the options there. But, again, you're fighting that boss perfectly fine. Oh, look, Doom Dance on Phoebe. Not Phoebe, Kaylee. And then, Doom Dance on Benjamin, you're dead. Just completely 1-2. And again, you have no control over it. So you can easily lose minutes on splits just by the boss decides near the end of its thing to do an RNG combo that you cannot block.
Yeah.
Is this a good time for me to come in and talk?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here. You are watching the RPG Valkyries Speedrun Ragnarok 2023, the second Ragnarok to actually happen during the Calendrical 2023. And they are raising money for Take This. Take This is a mental health nonprofit, and their main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders and prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. Y'all have been super generous and have raised a ton of money for our current incentives. We have a very small difference between Pikachu and Squirtle in the upcoming Pokemon Puzzle League incentive. That is only a $5 difference. Squirtle is ahead by $5 right now. $6 would put it into Pikachu's hands. We also are over halfway in the Monster Sanctuary incentive to fight God Zerker. It is at, sorry, I was trying to pull up the exact number. We are at $108 out of 200 right now. So that's totally doable. Thank you all for your awesome donations. Thank you all for being awesome in chat, and thank you all for being here.
And thank you, Oster, for keeping us abreast of how things are going. Speaking of how things are going, remember what you were saying a moment ago, Fred, about a certain headless horseman?
Oh no, I do remember that, but I wasn't trying to do this. I swear.
I mean, the bright side is that I think RPGchick is almost out of places to look other than the squid. So we should.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we are running pretty low here. That was a full clear. Actually, I take it back. The tree.
We have the tree.
Folks, grab your popcorn, grab your beverages.
Okay.
We may be here.
The question is the tree repugnant enough to justify going all the way back to the end of Wintry Cave before you try it? I mean, even with the make annoying dungeons less annoying flag ticked on, which is a flag that we have in the randomizer, in the case of the tree, it thins out all those mushrooms you have to chop down. There's still a lot of mushrooms. The tree is still really annoying.
Yeah, and all the whole dragon clawing across all the gaps there too. I think there's at least one post that got moved to save at least one of the floors, so a bunch of walking around. But Yeah, it's annoying. I mean, the question, it may actually come down to physical location on the overworld here.
Let's see. I think a live force is in Firebird area.
Oh,
No, never
it's
mind. It's
literally
literally
right
right
here.
there. Okay, we're going into the tree. There's absolutely no reason for RPGchick to not go ahead and do tree.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the reason that this is happening. By the way, folks, make sure you follow these runners because they are both incredibly awesome at this. Even giving us a lot of fun here, especially when the game decides to troll them by putting things in some of the worst possible locations ever.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just going to point this out. Like, RPGchick is basically about to do a full clear of this game just because that's kind of how the checks have crumbled. I would expect that we're still going to be done with this by the 15 hour 20 mark.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, and this is just even more impressive. The fact that you're going to see a full clear of the game in just that little bit of time from them here. This is just an incredibly high level of skill play in terms of going through this stuff, and it is the fun of having multiple items that are any one of those items can block you from hitting your go mode, and if you don't catch all of them, you can run into issues. So thankfully, at least the enemies are nice in the tree here, so that does help out a lot.
Yeah, one of the other flags, I don't know if we mentioned this, is regions is keep enemies like strict to the region that they are located in. So that just means that instead of having the sort of normal monsters for a given area, the game will attempt to make you fight things that are logical to the region that the area got relocated to.
And that's a really cool little thing, because again, I hadn't seen that flag. That's a new flag in one of the later versions here of the randomizer. I hadn't seen that one before. I've seen a number of different games choose different methods for how do you handle, especially if you're playing an RPG. There's a number of different randomizer philosophies, essentially, of how do you have the game handle those enemies in terms of like the difficulty. I've seen some games that say, hey, we're going to place enemies, where we intend you to go. So you get to find the easier enemies, end up finding you on the right path. I've seen some that say it scales based on the number of key items you found so far. I've seen some that say, oh, let's just base it based on, there's lots of different ways that they can do it. Trying to think about things. There's some that just say, okay, we'll scale it based on the spot, which is kind of what this one's doing. So there's a number of different ways you can go about that.
Yeah, or you can just straight up go, you know what? No mercy. You have to figure it out.
Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely one that a couple of games do, and yeah, that can lead to some nastiness. Let's put it that way.
I mean, yeah, I've come out of the FF1R community. I know all about that, but the thing, in Mystic Quest Randomizer will do. Kind of lets you pick your poison. There is the straight up, you just get the enemies where they are. That is an option. There's also the option for just try to pick the softest you can based on where specifically this is in the game.
Yeah. And yep, there we go. RPG was able to get out there. Ghidra being another boss, by the way, that blocks a brown chest. Except that one you could at least peek the chest in the randomizer here. Normally the chest that holds meteor is blocked behind. Normally you could get there before Ghidra. It's just that there's a lot of enemies in the way. It's a giant pain to get there in vanilla. So you tend to not go down there until after you've killed Ghidra, so all the enemies are dead. In the randomizer, I believe the door to that is actually blocked by one of the talking wood wall things until after you've killed Ghidra, but you can see what that chest is, so it makes life much easier.
Alright, so I believe with that check, RPG should be able to go, oh, I've got to go back to Wintry Cave.
What did they forget in Ice Pyramid? Because I know they did a near full clear of this dungeon.
Yeah, there are a couple of checks that are a little bit out of the way and a little annoying if you don't have the mirror.
Could
Um,
be. Yeah, it's just like I wonder if they didn't like. I wonder if they didn't peek the one at the boss. I wonder if that's where they stopped. Maybe they may have stopped when they fell into the room of 6. Actually, now that I'm thinking about the room
I
where
think you're
normally
right.
on the way out, I think they stopped there, so they didn't finish the climb. Which again, there's only a couple of chests there, but again, at this point, there's not much left. So
Yeah. Yeah. Still, it is one of those things like I don't think there's like any forced fights going back through Wintry Cave, so
yeah, I think that should be a pretty fast one once you get back into the wintry cave. There's definitely paths you can get through that won't need any fights. So this is just a couple of quick fights here. RPG will undoubtedly peek the chest before committing to the golem fight. Maybe they'll just take out golem actually because they have flare. Why not?
okay. All right, so Silverfire helping us out in chat and pointing out that RPG didn't have bombs the first time.
That was the reason. Good
Yeah.
catch there, Silverfire. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so
That's what it was.
Yeah, so that solves the mystery there. So
I forgot the bombs came that late. It felt like everyone got the micro grenades early, but I think it just may have been an ordering situation.
Yeah. Oh, I don't believe that drop was intentional. So, but you know, this room is annoying.
I think they were just
Like,
trying to make
honestly.
sure that their stream had proper quality right now. They want to make sure they weren't dropping any frames or anything.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yeah, we do have time for a donation.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We had a really awesome $20 Ann who says, Swag Chain sounds fun. I want to see. And she's talking about the Swag Chain incentive. It is coming. We are currently about $130 away from that. It's going to be for Pokemon Puzzle League. If we can get $130 more, we're going to have a Swag Chain showcase in game coming up pretty darn soon.
Well, there's a lot of really cool incentives coming in. Thank you for that donation. And yeah, there's a lot of really cool incentives coming up here.
All right. So
we forgot Medusa.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is looking like a Medusa check.
Yeah, it makes sense. Again, if you're down to which ones where you're right next to the volcano anyway here, this is a good play. Just unfortunately, omniscient sight that we have, we know it's not going to pay out.
Yeah, but the bright side is, at this point, that does indicate that RPG is remembering the boss checks, and so this should be followed up with a return to Wintry Cave, because that
absolutely.
Yeah, so we should be in go mode within the next like 4 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. Oh man, I forget just how fast Medusa goes down if on normal 25 to 100%. I'm too used to the Speed Gaming Live flag set with the 100 to 150 scaling for most bosses.
Yeah. And yeah, that is one thing to take into consideration too if you're looking at this and thinking to yourself, well, this looks fun, but it seems a little soft. These are marathon safe flags. You can make this a much harder game. And it's really fun when you make it hard.
There's certain levels. There was a SG live race actually where RPG and I played each other, and we both tapped out in that seed. The way that it ended up being because of the fact that it required us to take Benjamin and starter Tristram and go grind out one of the fields near Windia. It was like a 4 or 5 fight grind too. With I think we had like I think it was Steel Sword. Maybe we got the Knight Sword, but I think it was Steel Sword and Tristram's throwing stars.
I mean, that still isn't as bad as that one race where we had Tristram won for fighting Pazuzu.
Fair. Yes. Okay. That is completely fair. I will grant that. But at least there, you at least have a Dragon Claw guaranteed if you're fighting Suzu. It's not much better, but at least you have a weapon that can actually do a little bit of damage rather than just poking like with a tiny stick at the giant flying bird, and the flying bird just flaps its wings and flies away.
I mean, like, let's just face it. Realistically, any seed that makes you go to Windia with Tristram 1 is just evil.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. But here we go. RPG is definitely not happy with watching SpongeBob. Has defeated the evil Squidward, and now is in go mode. That is something. That is a way that seriously was a way for the seed to roll.
Yeah. So, based on what we saw on Hebbings' side, I do think we're still on track to clear this in the next 7 or so minutes.
Oh, absolutely.
Because with Dark King doing the self curing, that definitely is going to speed up that fight for RPG.
It'll definitely help. I mean, again, it's possible with all the different attacks that Dark King has. Definitely possible that RPG won't even see that. But
yeah, Hebbings RPG did find the dock.
Yeah.
Do I remember where the dock is? No. Is RPGchick way better at this game than I am? Absolutely.
It's literally one of the opening places, so we should see RPG hopefully immediately exit back to overworld, back to start, and get going here. I really gotta try these flag sets out. This has been a ton of fun to watch, I have to say.
Oh yeah, no, I did a run of this earlier today just to kind of freshen my memory, and it is a really fun flag set. And if you do come over to the community Discord, there is a link to it in the general chat, I believe, or possibly event chat, but there is a fresh link to this specific flag set for anyone who is interested in trying this out.
So yes, this is the last step, so just gotta bring the captain's hat back to the captain, who says, okay, fine, you gave me my hat, you can use my ship, which I'm not quite sure how that logic works, but apparently it works. Apparently this sailor likes to curse a little bit too there. There seem to be some random symbols there on the, as part of the talking.
Like father, like daughter.
Yeah, I noticed Kaylee seems to have a bit of a potty mouth there. I'd never really thought of that until I've read some of that. Those of you who haven't seen it before, definitely take the time, like on your first couple of playthroughs, read the text that, when the characters are joining you and stuff, because they put some really entertaining text into these here.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the abbreviated story, conversations have been punched up a little bit. Also, as much as we've talked down about the tree, there have been a few adjustments made to the cutscene at the end of the tree by the community. So it is one of those things, if you're just kind of casually playing through it, maybe go up the tree. Maybe just see what's at the top.
You're saying they should goon up the tree?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we have randomized the message, but speaking of the message, let's let the music speak for itself one more time.
1, 2.
Alright. Yeah, so this should be a relatively quick fight. I believe RPG is coming in with a slightly stronger Benjamin.
Absolutely, I believe.
One thing we didn't get a chance to call out, and this is our last chance. You'll notice that RPGchick specifically has the Dragon Claw equipped. So the Dragon Claw actually does boost your magic stat, so your spells will hit slightly harder when you have that as your active weapon. The sword will speed you up as well. That's something I didn't actually know until I started fiddling with the randomizer.
Yeah, it's definitely used sometimes in, I think, the vanilla speedruns as well. I mean, the claw you'll see that one as your standard weapon without, most of the time. But even in vanilla, you'll sometimes see someone put up the sword trying to hope that they get enough agility to act before an enemy to try to squeak by sometimes. But most of the time, if you're casting magic, you're sitting on that Dragon Claw just for the extra damage boost.
Yeah. I have absolutely done the pull out the sword to try and outspeed Dark King before. Because I have actually had a few Dark Kings that were on that borderline.
Oh, nice.
Where I was able to occasionally get the speed on Benjamin using the sword. Yeah, we should be coming up on the red flash. Yep.
There it is.
Alright, and get those GGs in chat for RPGchick, who finished with, about 112.50, so...
Yeah, a full clear, mind you, of the whole game. Literally everything there in 1 hour, 112 there. That's really impressive to be able to full clear the game that quickly there.
Yeah.
As frustrating sometimes as the runner to be like, oh gosh, I literally last located it, but that just shows just how good they are to be able to do that and be able to get through.
Yeah. And I don't think we've got very long to chat, but I suppose we'll have these two speak up for just a second.
Hey.
Yeah, GG to both of you. That was very entertaining.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah. So did that live up to the spice that was promised, in your opinion?
I honestly killed Squid on a whim, and I'm glad I did, because I like Fade that check 99.9% of the time. So I was like, I'm here, might as well. And then, getting T-Rock from Squid was like, that's the spice he's talking about, the stuff hiding behind mini bosses. Jerk.
RPG, are you coming through now? Okay, we're still not able to hear RPGchick, unfortunately, but yeah, unfortunately RPGchick did not dare to seek the calamari.
That'll get you.
Yeah, unfortunately their mic stopped working, so yeah. So there's not really too much I wanted to bring up on that front. Like y'all made a very entertaining show of what was a very noodly scene.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun being able to show this off. I'm glad I got to put on a good show, and glad be out here helping support such a great cause. So thanks again for the Valkyries having us. It's always great to be able to support these good causes like this, and hopefully I inspired some of y'all to join the community. Like Wout was saying earlier, we have a new player room in the Discord, so if you're intimidated or you're like worried you might not be able to jump in, don't worry, everybody's super welcoming and friendly. We have that new player room set up by shameless plug me. And if you need help, send a ping. Any of us will be able to help you.
Is it working now? Am I coming
Hey, there you are.
Here we go. Yeah, I hundoed that seed. I hundoed that heckin' seed.
You hundoed that seed and still finished in under 75 minutes.
Yeah.
Well done on that front. Go back and watch the VOD if you want to hear just the utmost pain in Fred and I's voices.
Considering that ended up being a triple dip wintry cave. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my sympathies on that front, but you did put on a clinic of how to 100% a seed that
I did.
Yeah, especially with overworld shuffle.
Yeah. Very, very clean routing of just peeking all of the locations that you could to get in and out.
Leave it to Ham to put something behind one of the mid bosses, because every practice seat I had this week, there was nothing behind the mid bosses.
After Limit Break and I faded that Mega Grenade check at Life Chest, I was like, nope, never again. Never again.
I did dip back into the volcano once I had claws too, and all I got from my troubles was the Cupid locket. But
Great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think on that note, we should go ahead and let the Valkyries reclaim a little bit of some time.
Yeah. Thank you both. That was a wonderful run. It was super entertaining to watch. And thank you very much, Hemmings and RPGchick. That was awesome. Unfortunately, a little one-sided, but really fun to watch nonetheless. I want to point out that we are raising money for Take This. Take This is a wonderful mental health charity that focuses on the gaming community, and they provide education on mental illness so that friends, family, members, and coworkers can be better allies to those who are suffering. And I think we all know how important mental health is and how wonderful mental health charities and not-for-profits are. So if you can, please consider donating. We have some incentives coming up. We're currently at $30 out of $150 for a swag chain showcase in Pokemon Puzzle League. That sounds super cool. I want to see it. I don't know if we have time. That might be closing really soon. So if you do want to donate to that, it's pretty much got to be pretty quick. We're at $108 out of $200 to fight Dog Zerker in Monster Sanctuary, which is very doable, and the runner wants to do it. So please, did I say Dog Zerker? I meant God Zerker. Oh, geez. I spelled it wrong in my notes. And God Zerker in Monster Sanctuary. So please, if you can, donate to that. That would be super awesome. And we are getting really tight in terms of the Pokemon for Pokemon Puzzle League. Last I saw, it was Pikachu at $35, Bulbasaur at $20, and Squirtle at $50. You do not have very long to donate for that. That's going to be closing like very soon. If you want to donate for that, like, do it now. If we've got Pikachu or Bulbasaur fans in chat, like, now is the time. Apart from that, I just want to point out that you are watching the RPG Valkyries. There are an inclusive group of female and femme-leaning speedrunners, and thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. If you can, please consider donating. If you can't, if you're not financially able to, that's totally cool. Please hang out, just be awesome in chat, and just hang out and enjoy the speedrun. Thank you for being here.